wanted to start off to tell you guys what I connect to in regards to Charley Bordelon. What I like about her character, some things maybe that I didn't like at first when she was first introduced, and to go from there. So something that I really love about her is that she's a businesswoman. She is a Black woman. She's mixed white and Black is her storyline. And I love that even though that is where she grew up and how she grew up in a very privileged, or what people might be calling entitled, a spoiled life, she has roots. How do I say this? She has roots or has had some experience growing up in a different place. So her mother and her father were separated, and that I can connect to because my mom and my dad both raised me, and I both spent separate times with them. Growing and learning from both of them helped me. I grew up mostly being raised by my grandparents, my grandmothers, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. And so I did have a very spoiled life when it came to them. They did a lot for me. But when it came to my father, there were other things that he was instilling in me that helped to grow me up as well. So I definitely connect to that part of her. I connect to her loving the finer things in life because, period, Black luxury is a thing. But, so yes, I connected that with her. I love that she has all the finer things. I also, too, kind of think that the Capricorn in me connects to how she, like I said before, is a businesswoman, but she's also, too, very loyal. If she loves you, she's going to take care of you. And because of her knowledge, she used that to help people. I am the type of person that I feel like we've been given gifts in life. Our gifts are to not only to just profit off of, but they're also to help people who may not necessarily be able to help themselves. And so that's a big part of Charley's story, her transitioning from LA to the plantation, or the sugarcane plantation where her father is based. So for those of you who do not watch Queen Sugar, I'm going to kind of give you like a mini synopsis. And for those of you who watch, you can fast forward this part. So if you don't watch Queen Sugar, this story is about a family who has a sugarcane plantation. They're a Black family, and they're really fighting hard to keep their plantation because it seems as though there is, well, not it seems as, there is, you know, some white, more wealthy landowners in the area that are surrounding them that has basically been taking all the land from the Black people. Either whether it is just giving them money because they realize and recognize and are capitalizing off of, they understand that they can't afford to keep the land anymore. And Charley Bordelon's father is doing all that he can to try to keep the land without wanting to tell his kids that he's kind of in a bind. So he has two other children, Ralph Angel and why can't I think of her name right now? Nova. He has Ralph Angel and Nova as his children. They're closest to him. They're living in the same close vicinity to him. Ralph Angel was in jail, and so he had some time away, which kind of, you know, that's why he couldn't help. And then the daughter, she was just very much involved in community activism, academia, so she was busy in her own way. Charley was off, of course, in LA, managing her husband's basketball career in the NBA, and she was pretty much fixing all of his problems. She really dedicated her life to him and her son in LA, and she was very successful, as I said before. She didn't come home. What made her come home actually was her father had like a heart attack or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But something happened with him being sick. She came home to visit, and he ended up dying. Because I think she left, and when she came back, he was dead. I think that's it, but that's the gist. That's how I remember it in my head. So, yes. So she ended up coming back, finding out that he left her the land, and in the midst of all this, her husband ended up cheating on her. Not only did she find out that he had cheated on her, but he also, too, had another child on her. So that means that the cheating for what he had basically convinced himself had convinced her that wasn't true, had ended up to be much more deeper than just a one incident situation. It was something that had matriculated over the years, because the daughter that we come to find out was like maybe around preteen age, 10 to 12 years old. So it could seem like to a lot of people that Charley was running away from her problems, and she's like, you know what? I'm just going to leave all the chaos that comes with, you know, being famous and having all the media, you know, at you. It can seem like you ran away. You know, people have their different perspectives, but I really see it as her saying, you know what? I'm going to do something to get me back to myself, which is your roots. The place where she loved so much and what she considered to be a second home to her. That's where she went back to. She's decided that I'm going to go and do what my father's always been asking me to do, but I never ever had the time, because I was trying to build a family and trying to do what she thought was right. I can definitely connect to her story, because I left home recently. Well, not recently, like 5 years ago, I left home to go to Chicago. I was building a career there in entertainment. I was dancing professionally, performing in theater professionally, and then also to starting my own creative business. So I really got to experience all the things that I felt like I couldn't experience being at home. If you want to know more about my services, I'll link them down in the comments below. But yeah, so, and I recently now, after 5 years, feeling like God's tugging on me, pulling me to go back home. So this is another reason why I was like super, super connected in watching this marathon, because I feel like I had a reconnection to Charley. I believe that, really honestly, the first time I was watching Queen Sugar, I've had more of a connection to Nova, actually. But this second time watching it around in a different part of my life, I feel like I totally connect to Charley, because I see how she left home, went away, built her career, well established, then has to come back home and start something from nothing. So that really inspires me about her, is just how she remained powerful in her transition. She does have some issues that are clearly presented to the audience, of her feeling as though she needs to be a perfectionist, feeling like that she has to have the answer to everything, and that she just can't be, that she has to have everything together. That I connect to as well, and it's something that I've struggled with and been working through with my therapist, and just through these past few years of being an entertainer, understanding like, yes, I have to have a level of confidence and excellence and professionalism, but some things just as humans are just not always going to go right, or going to go the way that we think they're going to go. And we just have to be able to go with the punches and be fluid and flexible. So those are definitely things that I've been learning along the journey, and it's been great to just watch Charley evolve in that way. So the second thing I was talking about earlier too is I just love how she protects those around her. It kind of evolves from showing us how she protected her husband even when he was wrong, and one of the women had came forward and saying that it was more of like a relationship that he's having with her, but he actually kind of forced himself on her. Charley didn't know what to believe in the time, and in trying to protect her son and herself, and possibly her husband too, I think it was just the name in general or what they represent, she paid the woman so that she wouldn't blast the media. Honestly, I think the woman was just mad and she wanted money. Because in my opinion, if you were, if you were attacked, money wouldn't be the thing that you would be asking for. You would be contacting the wife saying, I'm going to get a lawyer and I am going to go forward with these charges. Money wouldn't be able to shut you up. That's just my opinion. Side note. But anyways, because Charley gets attacked for that later. That's why I'm saying that right now, because I just don't believe that she intentionally was just trying to cover up a sex crime. She's not that type of person. Anyways, I'm speaking about character as if I know her. Like, she is my friend. Like, don't do her. But yes, so yes. So we are presented with that first, of her showing that to us, of who she is. Loyal, protective. Then later on in the story, some things happen with her son, with the police, and she's always protecting him. It's anything that he's in, like, she's up she called her lawyer and she's on it. Like, I love how she just even operates with him in regards to like his education, and there were some things that she did that I probably wouldn't do, and just being mad, like, because he had got a ride to Harvard and she was just pissed about it. She kind of forced it on him and didn't really ask him what he wanted to do. So that's probably how I would have handled that differently. But I just love overall how she's there for him in general. And she even though I don't believe in a woman always having to be a provider, sometimes that happens in life. I grew up kind of in a single parent home as well. So I understand that you got to do what you got to do. And I just feel like she's really presented herself to be a provider in all different types of aspects for so many different types of people. Next, her community. She goes hard for her community, St. Joe. And it's just like, it was always engraved in her. And that's something that I feel like I want to really build, because I feel like there has been like this small little, I don't want to say shame, but just kind of like, there's not really anything in my town. And, and I just really feel like God's been talking to me about what can I do to bring in light to the place where I'm from. Where can I pull the beauty out of it? And I think that she does a really great job of showing the beauty and where she came from, and then also to enhancing it. And I just love how that's depicted in the imagery and just how the writers and the visuals are projected. So not only does Charley communicate that through her character, but it's just being beautifully put together in a beautiful puzzle piece, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, if y'all have not watched Queen Sugar, I know I'm giving you all the tea, but you should watch it and see what you get from it, because I want to know. In the comments, you have to let me know. Last thing, I'm not going to be up here in front of you guys too long, but I just love how she never gives up. She doesn't take no for an answer. And there's so many, of course, conflicts that come up and arise with her being back home and kind of entering into this territory that the white men do not want her to succeed in. She had her first black-owned sugar mill, aside from the plantation still being owned by their family. And she also too runs for councilwoman there. And then I think she's the first black councilwoman as well. Like, she kills it no matter what she's doing, and it's so inspiring. I watch her, and the things that people said, everything that someone says that she couldn't do in this show, she does it and she finds a way. And that is who I want to, that is what I consider myself to be. I consider myself to be a solutionist. So I connect to her in so many different ways. The only thing that I probably can't connect to her right now is that I'm not a mother, I'm not a wife, and I'm not biracial. So, but literally in every other aspect, I'm like, I have to keep watching this show now, because I want to know how it unfolds, and I want to know how I can connect my life to it and how I can grow and evolve from it. So I want to know what you guys think. The next season 3, episode 3 of this 6th season is coming on Tuesdays now on the OWN network at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And because that's where I am now, so I'm trying to adjust to that. But yes, like, if you want to continue the conversation, you can follow me on Instagram is Dev Directs. That's my Instagram page. And on Twitter, I'm always talking about #Queen Sugar on Tuesday evenings. So you can find me at Dance with Devin. And yes, please follow me on other platforms. If you let me know where you follow me from, I'll follow you back. And subscribe to this, share it with someone, give me some likes, and yes, like I said before, let me know what you think in the comments. Till next time.